Hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC. Polygon really makes it very hard for us to make an assumption about what could be happening next, because Polygon has on the one hand built a super strong foundation for a major run to the upside. On the other hand, because of that strong foundation, it is actually unlikely, fairly unlikely, that this really is a strong foundation for a move up. But it could just be a series of corrective waves, and that is what it makes so hard. Let me explain. In the last few videos I showed you here this series of 1-2 setups. Yeah, I did explain that from the low here, after that impulse up obviously throughout earlier in 2021, we then came down here possibly in an ABC correction. Yeah, we then had the low formed here at around, well, 65 cents, 64 cents. That's a significant swing low. After that we could interpret it as a wave 1, a wave 2 to the downside. As you probably know if you've been following me, an impulsive wave up usually has 5 waves. Yeah, 5 wave structure up and 3 wave structure down. That is the most basic Elliott wave count. So it could be that we've seen a wave 1 here to the upside and a wave 2 to the downside, then another wave 1 up and another wave 2 down. So why is that the case? That's the case because we came down too far. Basically, you came up in a wave 1, come down in a wave 2. Normally, this would be the wave 3 and the wave 4 down. But because we're coming down too far, this is not anymore a wave 4. So what this needs to be then, this was a wave 1, 2, and you're coming up again in a wave 1, you come down in a wave 2. You come up again in a wave 1, you come down in a wave 2. So what that means is you always go to the smaller degree. So what you see here is that first wave 1 came up, the wave 2 came down. Basically then you have this wave 3 still open, and within that wave 3 you are now in a wave 1 and a wave 2 and within a wave 3. But you have to start again because this came down too far. So it's not a wave 3, 4, that's another wave 1, 2 within that wave 3. And what you're doing here is basically you start again with another wave 1 up and a wave 2 down. So this is on the one hand a fantastic foundation for a long bull run, because it is this series of extended 1-2s, which means that all of these wave 3, 4, 5s still need to be closed. Yeah, so that means you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you go to the higher level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of that goes to the upside, and it would really take the price here to massive highs. However, if you get too many of these 1-2s, I mean, I've never really seen it play out well, or very rarely, but if you have too many of these, it just gets unrealistic, and it could also be an indicator for the bulls can't just push the price much higher. We can see that play out because most recently here we started to build a head and shoulder. So you can see that here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yeah, that is the most recent move that we've done here on the Polygon MATIC chart. Now, so far it's worked out really well. I mean, we did come down here in that wave 2 into my target area down there. We then came up into, when we came here up here, I think that was the target area back here, we hit that, we then came down, hit that target area, came up, hit that target area. So far it's worked really well. Yeah, but now most recently it didn't really push higher anymore. Yeah, it made a lower high, so that basically could be an indication for, right, we're rolling over here. Yeah, we're rolling over here. It could definitely be a sign for that head and shoulders. If that breaks that trend line here, that ascending trend line, which is currently sitting at, well, $2.05. Yeah, that could mean lower prices for Polygon MATIC, and that could mean it's over, because in that recent move up here, it has basically maxed out what it can do in a bearish scenario. Because so I just talked about the bullish scenario with the foundation of 1-2s, 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 which gets unrealistic. Now it still is possible, but for that it would need to push higher now and break that, basically the $3 level. Yeah, then I would be quite confident that we can really push up here and really get to new all-time highs. But for that, the bulls really need to get going and push the price above $3. If that doesn't happen, then I think what we've seen here is nothing else than a larger A, B, C correction, where the wave C would come down all the way possibly to 63 cents. Not a good sign, certainly possible. And basically because that wave B did get all the way up to the all-time high, couldn't really push higher, that could be a wave B. It could still be a wave B. And since then, we've seen the weakness in the chart, because we have seen here the price go below the 20-day moving average. Not a big issue, it did that before, but it's also fallen below the 50-day moving average. And again, it did that before, but the last few times it basically found support here. So at the moment, we've fallen below it quite strongly. And this latest move up looks very corrective to me. Yeah, more like an A, B, C, and now an impulse forming to the downside, okay? So yeah, I'm not too confident if we're actually going to go up here. I'd be now more inclined to say, right, maybe we don't. Maybe we break that. Obviously, we don't have confirmation that that level gets broken, but if that $2.07 level gets broken, that could be it, right? That could be it. And you've got that head and shoulders here on the chart, and the too many 1-2 setups, in my view, here on the chart could really mean that the price is pushing lower. Next key support, if the price is really going to go lower, is here that, first of all, the major level is 145. 145, if you drop below 145, it would basically make it much, much less likely that this one series of 1-2 setups is still going to work, because you break that major low 2 here, wave 2, I mean, and then, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think there is space to the downside here, certainly, especially that last move I'm not impressed with, especially as we failed here to make a higher high. Not looking too good at the moment for Polygon MATIC. Bullish scenario still possible, but the message is here that the bulls really need to get going, push the price above $3. If we don't see that, I think we're going to see here a sell-off of Polygon MATIC, unfortunately. But as I said, it's still possible, and if we push up from here, obviously first resistance will be here at 250, those previous highs. And if it can push above that, then you can get all the way here possibly to around $3.20. I would expect a lot of resistance at $3. It's a psychological level, psychological mark. And yeah, then we take it from there. But at the moment, there is no sign that the price is turning around here. You can see that very, very weak. You can even see here something like a triangle forming, and we can probably see that better on the 1-hour chart. And let me just see. Could even be a ascending wedge. I don't know what we can see here. Anything? So if you draw that as descending trend line, you can see that it possibly was just broken to the upside, and then we might now retest and then go up from here. But yeah, it's nothing too convincing here at the moment. So we need to see what the price is doing now. It's at a tipping point. Two key scenarios. In my view, the bearish scenario gets more and more likely here. But the message is the bullish scenario is basically still possible, and also not too unlikely. Yeah, if I had to give it a percentage, I would say probability that we break down from here, I would give it maybe a 60 to 65%, and then on the other hand a 35 to 40% that we could push here to the upside. Alright, hopefully you liked the update video. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.